Good morning, year five. Okay, this morning you're going to be multiplying in your head using some bigger numbers, and we're going to look at three strategies, one of which I know you're really confident with, and the other two perhaps slightly less confident with. We're going to look at using multiplying multiples of 10, which is the one I think we're pretty confident with. We're going to look at using our knowledge of multiplying by 10 to help us, and we're going to look at rounding as well. Okay, so let's just start with the easy one, multiplying multiples of 10. Remember, we're doing all of this today in our head. So if I've got 7 multiplied by 80, you know already that we can do 7 multiplied by 8 as a little trick, which is, I'm going to write the answer underneath if that's okay, 56. And then I've got 1 0 here, and I can put the 0 on the end to make 560. And obviously that works for multiples of 100 as well, doesn't it? The same little trick. This time there are 2 zeros, so it would be 5,600. Okay, so that's a strategy that you already know and you can use this morning. Our second strategy, though, is actually using our knowledge of multiplying by 10 to help us multiply in our head with bigger numbers. So let's just look at an example here, or a couple of examples. The first example I want to look at is 36 multiplied by 20, which is quite a big multiplication. But I know that 20 is 2 lots of 10. So I can split this up effectively into 2 questions. And I can do 36 multiplied by 10, which I know is 360. And then I can just do another 36 multiplied by 10, because I've got 1020, which is another 360. And I can put those together in my head, hopefully, double 360, which I know is 720. Okay, let's look at another example where we use multiplying by 10. And it's a slightly different example, this one. I've got 145 multiplied by 5. Well, 5 is half of 10 this time. So this time I can do 145 multiplied by 10, which I know is 1,450. And this time with my answer, instead of doubling my answer, I can effectively halve my answer. And if I can do that in my head, is 5, 6, 725. And again, I'm doing all of this in my head, remember, year 5. That's the key thing this morning. And then finally, one we have talked about in class, but sometimes not confident with, is rounding. So let's look at 2 examples here. Let's start with a nice big example, 48 multiplied by 21. Well, I can incorporate 2 of my strategies here. I can use this strategy here, my multiples of multiplying by 10, and I can do 48 multiplied by 10 twice. And I know 48 multiplied by 10 is 480, and I can do that twice. And I know that double 480 would be 960. So 960 would be the answer to 48 multiplied by 20. But I know that I've got another 48 to add on, and I can do that in my head. That's a nice easy addition, isn't it? 960 add 40 would be 1,000, and then add the 8 on. So that would be 1,008, being careful with my place value, with my zeros. And then let's just try rounding the other way. Let's use the same number, 48, multiplied by 19 this time, so sort of rounding down. And I'm going to do 48 multiplied by 20, which I did here, which was 960. So the same process, but this time it's 48 less. So I'm subtracting 48 from 960. So 960 subtract 40 would be 920. And then subtract 8 would be 912, I think. I'm going to put my ground here. So your job this morning, year 5, is to do the questions in your head. Make sure you write the question out with the answer. You don't have to show all of your working. You're doing the working in your head. I'm just showing you my thinking on my whiteboard. But do write next to the question, which we've done before, we've done a lot this year, the strategy that you've used to solve the problem, okay? And the three strategies are multiples of 10, using our knowledge of multiplying by 10, and rounding. Okay, and for an extra challenge this morning, you can set your timer and see how quickly you can solve those questions. Good luck, Year 5.